You just finished a 60-hour work week. Your back hurts, your eyes are tired, but you check your bank app and see $5,000 in savings. You feel safe. You feel responsible. You tell yourself, I am doing the right thing. But here is the brutal truth. While you're sleeping, that money is physically melting. It is disappearing without you spending a single cent. Inflation isn't just a boring headline on the news. It is a silent, invisible thief that eats 7% of your life every single year. My name is Aiden, and I spend way too much time thinking about how to stop the government from destroying your wealth. If you're someone who feels like you're running on a treadmill but never moving forward, hit subscribe and let's fix that today. Look, holding pure cash in 2026 is the riskiest financial move you can make. I know that sounds crazy, but let's look at the math. In 1970, this burger cost 40 cents. Today, the same burger costs $12. The burger didn't get better, your money got worse. That is a 3,000% loss of purchasing power. If you saved $100 in 1970, today it has the buying power of a ham sandwich. Now you might be thinking, Aiden, cash is safe. The stock market is a casino. This is a psychological trap called loss aversion. We feel the pain of losing $100 twice as much as the joy of gaining $100. So we hide in cash because it feels comfortable. But comfort is expensive. If your bank pays you 0.01% interest and inflation is 7%, you are guaranteed to lose money. This is what most people don't realize. Money is not a pet to be cuddled. Money is a soldier. You have an army of soldiers. If you leave them in a savings account, they are sleeping in the barracks while the enemy attacks. You need to send them to war. They need to capture territory and bring back prisoners. Returns. So where do we deploy them? We have 4 battlefields. The first one is the oldest asset in human history, gold. Gold is the ultimate defense. When the world goes crazy and governments print money, gold stays steady. But here's the thing. Gold is lazy. It doesn't produce anything. It doesn't pay rent. It just sits there and looks shiny. Gold is strictly for wealth preservation, not wealth creation. Use it as a shield, not a sword. Now let's talk about the second battlefield, real estate. But wait, Aiden, I don't have $500K for a down payment. You don't need to buy a house to be in real estate. You need to know about REITs, real estate investment trusts. A REIT is a company that owns malls, hospitals, and apartments. You can buy a share for like $50. Quick recap. 1. Cash is melting. 2. Soldiers must fight. 3. Gold is defense. 4. REITs are easy access. Here's the logic. When inflation goes up, the price of lumber, labor, and land goes up. So what happens to rent? Rent goes up. If you own the real estate, inflation is actually helping you. You're on the winning side of the equation. It's a psychological shift from being a consumer, the victim, to being an owner, the victor. But real estate is slow. What if you want to grow your army fast? You need the third battlefield, the stock market. I know. The market is volatile. What about the crash of 2008? Look, volatility is the price of admission. If you put $10,000 into the S&P 500 in 2013, you'd have over $32,000 today. If you kept it in cash, you lost money. But here's the secret that Wall Street doesn't want you to know. You don't need to be smart. You don't need to pick the next Tesla. You just need to be lazy. 92% of professional fund managers, guys with $5,000 suits, cannot beat a simple index fund over 15 years. Why pay a pro 2% fees to lose your money? Just buy the whole haystack. Buy the S&P 500. When you buy an index fund, you own a piece of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. You have the smartest engineers working for you. This brings us to the concept of ownership again. Stop buying the iPhone. Buy the company that makes the iPhone. Now let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the digital elephant. Battlefield number 4, crypto, specifically Bitcoin. Now put your pitchforks down and listen to the math. The US dollar has an infinite supply. The government can print $1 trillion tomorrow if they want.
Bitcoin has a fixed supply, 21 million coins, forever. That's it. You cannot print more. It is the only asset in the known universe with absolute scarcity. It's like discovering a digital element. I'm not saying put your life savings in it. That's gambling. I'm saying put 1 to 5% in it. That's insurance. This is called asymmetric risk. If Bitcoin goes to 0, you lose 5%. If it goes to 1 million, you double your net worth. Recap 2. 1. Stocks for growth. 2. Be lazy. Index funds. 3. Bitcoin for scarcity. 4. 5% rule. So we have our team: gold for defense, real estate for income, stocks for growth, crypto for insurance. But Aiden, how do I actually do this? I get paid on Friday and by Monday the money's gone. This is where psychology beats math. If you rely on willpower to save, you will fail. You are human. You like shiny things. You need to automate the process. You need to build a machine that saves for you. Step 1. The pay yourself first rule. Set up an auto transfer the day after payday. Before you pay rent, before you buy groceries, before you buy that overpriced coffee, your soldiers go to war. Step 2. The emergency fund. Keep 6 months of expenses in a high-yield cash account. Don't leave it in checking. A high-yield account pays you 4 to 5%. Checking pays you dust. Step 3. Kill the toxic debt. If you have credit card debt at 25%, you are bleeding out. There's no investment in the world that guarantees 25% returns. Paying off debt is the best investment you will ever make. Now let's talk about the bucket strategy. This is how the rich structure their money. Bucket 1 is safety. Cash, gold, bonds. It doesn't grow much, but it won't go to 0. This is your sleep at night money. Bucket 2 is growth. Real estate, S&P 500. This is your retirement engine. It will have ups and downs. Bucket 3 is the moonshot. Crypto, angel investing, pickles. Yes, pickles. This bucket is small, but if it hits, it changes your life. If it fails, you don't starve. The mistake most people make is mixing the buckets. They use their rent money to buy crypto. Don't be that guy. Now let's address a major objection. Aiden, what if the whole system collapses? If the entire US economy goes to 0, your money in the bank is worthless anyway. Canned food and ammo will be the new currency. So betting on the end of the world is a bad bet. If you win, you still lose. Bet on optimism. Here's a stat that will blow your mind. In any 20-year period in history, the stock market has never lost money. Even if you bought at the peak of 1929 or 2000 or 2008, if you held for 20 years, you made money. Time is your best friend. Impulse is your worst enemy. Recap 3. 1. Automate savings. 2. Bucket strategy. 3. Bet on optimism. 4. Time times timing. Let's get specific with numbers. Let's say you're 30 years old. You have 0 invested. If you invest $500 a month into the S&P 500, assuming average 10% returns, by age 65, you don't have $200,000. You have nearly $1.7 million. You only put in $210,000 of your own money. The other $1.5 million came from compound interest. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world, but it needs time to work. If you wait until you're 40 to start investing, that number drops from $1.7 million to $600,000. You lost $1 million by waiting 10 years. This is why "I'll start later" is the most expensive sentence in the English language. But Aiden, I don't have $500 a month. I'm broke. Look, go through your bank statement. Netflix, $15. Gym you don't use, $20. Daily lunch, $300 a month. We bleed money on things that don't matter. You have the money, you're just giving it to other people. Reclaim that money, redirect it to your soldiers. Even $50 a month creates a habit. Habits are more important than amounts. You can't run a marathon if you can't walk around the block. Now let's talk about the tax trap. Inflation is a tax, but capital gains is also a tax. Use tax-advantaged accounts, Roth IRA, 401k. These are shields against the government. In a Roth IRA, your money grows tax-free. If you make $1 million, the government gets zero, legally. If you're not using these accounts, you are voluntarily tipping the IRS. Don't tip the IRS. Recap 4. 1. Compound interest. 2. Start now, $1 million cost of waiting. 3. Audit expenses. 4. Roth IRA. We're nearing the end, so let's zoom out. Why are we doing this? Is it just to have a big number on a screen? No, it's about freedom. It's about options. It's about not having to say yes to a boss you hate. When you have 6 months of expenses saved, you walk differently, you talk differently. When you have investments paying your rent, you are free. You have escaped the matrix. Cash is the chain that keeps you in the matrix. Assets are the key to the exit door. Don't let the fear of losing money stop you from making money. The biggest risk is regret.
Put your soldiers to work. Stop holding the melting ice cube. Inflation isn't going away. The government isn't going to save you. You have to save yourself. This is the game of wealth. It's not taught in school, it's taught right here. If this video helped you, share it with a friend who is keeping too much cash. My name is Aiden, and I want you to be rich, not just in money, but in time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It tells the algorithm that financial literacy matters. I'll see you in the next video. Keep building. Wait, you're still here? Here's a bonus tip. Books. The best investment is your own brain. Read The Psychology of Money. A $20 book can give you $1 million idea. That's an infinite ROI. Okay, seriously, go set up that transfer. Bye.